I'm gonna go off theme.
What?
Sorry.
Better be good.
I know, I've thought about it a lot. And I already told all my love stories. So I'm telling a story that I've tried to tell twice before and I don't get called on.
Did you tell 2 love stories?
I did tell 2 loves, but one of them was like 8 love stories in one. And that ate up everything that I have to say about love. People often ask me why I left the beautiful state of Oregon to live in Fargo, North Dakota. And I think that's a fair question, and it deserves a fair answer. So tonight I'm going to tell the real story, I guess the one that I don't often tell people. And it has a lot to do with sounds, noises. Sounds have always caused me a lot of pain. And the first time that I can remember a sound causing me pain was when I was in middle school. And I had a twin brother, and he was really into the Beatles, and he decided that he wanted to be a singer. And the problem was that he was less of a John or a Paul and more of a Ringo. Which, it isn't inherently bad, but the thing is that Ringo, unlike my brother, knew that he wasn't at the same caliber as John and Paul. And so he, instead of singing songs like Hey Jude, would sing Yellow Submarine, which we can all agree is a very enjoyable song, but might not be as technically difficult as Hey Jude. And my brother didn't. So I feel like this is derailed a bit. My brother, when he sang, he sounded kind of like a wounded hunting dog. He's got a lot better. It's been like 15 years. He's a lot better now. But my bedroom shared a wall with the shower, and at like 6 a.m. every morning, I would be woken up by this singing. And I remember it caused me this pain, like a full body, like physical and emotional pain like I'd never experienced before. And at that time in my life, I think I just didn't have the experience or the knowledge to understand that what I was experiencing wasn't the same as what other people refer to as annoyance. The second sound that I can remember that caused me a lot of pain was gum. And the sound of gum chewing is so painful to me that, like, to this day, the smell of spearmint causes me to cringe. And so I would do like these really absurd things when I was growing up to avoid gum. Like, my parents had a cabinet in the kitchen where they kept all of the gum. And in order to reduce the amount of gum that was chewed in my household, I would steal it and throw it away. But I was smart. Like, I knew I couldn't throw it all away at once because then they'd know. So I would throw away like 1 pack at a time so that it would slowly run out over time, and hopefully that there'd just be less gum chewing. And like, when I say I stole a lot of gum, it wasn't like I stole and threw away like 5 or 10 packs of gum. It was like if gum was money and I got caught, I wouldn't be doing community service. I would be doing like 20 to life on felony. And you're probably wondering why my parents had so much gum, and I wondered that too. But it was because they bought it at Costco. And so I would go to Costco with my mom just so that I could try to stop her from buying gum. She would put it in the cart, and then when she wasn't looking, I would take it out. And then when she got to the checkout desk, she would be like, "Oh, I thought I picked up gum." And I'd be like, "Oh, I guess we already have gum at home." But that wasn't even the most absurd thing I did to avoid gum. When I was in school, I remember very distinctly there was a girl who sat next to me in one of my classes who was a very loud gum chewer, and I could not focus on class. I was learning nothing, and it was a rhetoric class. I was very excited about that. And so what I would do is I would come to class really early before anyone else got there, and I would swap her desk with a left-handed desk so that when she took notes, she would have to lean away from me. And it worked. And I felt really bad, like this was probably a major inconvenience for this girl, but it made my life so much better. But the sounds got worse, and there were more of them, and it seemed like the more time I spent around people, the more sounds I developed with those people, and the people that I spent a lot of time with were at my house, and I would develop these sounds like chewing or sniffing or coughing or even loud breathing, some people's voices in certain tones where it would give me this like pain throughout my body, like a heat, like, almost like an anxiety attack. Mixed with anger, and I couldn't describe it, and I couldn't explain it. And when other people can't see something, they don't recognize it. And so to everyone else, if I tried to explain it, it was just, they said, oh, you're overreacting, it's just annoyance. And so I would avoid being at home, and I would get involved in these activities. I was playing tennis, I was doing soccer, I was part of the Student Government Association. I did a play once, also I could be away from home and doing all these things so that I could avoid the sounds. And then when it came time to apply for college, I had an opportunity to get away. And the story that I tell is that I applied for Concordia College because the application was free and I didn't have to write an essay. Which was partially true. But I wanted to escape the sounds. And I didn't. The sounds still exist here. But I found out that I have a legitimate neurological condition that causes me to have these reactions to very particular trigger noises caused by people. And now I know how to deal with it better. And that's why I moved to Fargo, and I love it here. And I don't have an ending for this story. But that's the end.